What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Today, we're going to be talking about a groundbreaking new NFT called Orcs. Now, I've talked about a lot of these NFTs you can farm with, that you can do stuff passively with in the past couple days. And if you're a member of my Patreon page, I actually gave a list of a lot of different up and coming NFTs that are doing the take on farming with your NFT a little bit differently. Now, there's some positives, some negatives, and some drama with all of that together, but at the end of the day, what I'm looking for is utility for these NFTs beyond just being a profile picture NFT. And I do think that things like Orcs, which we're going to take a look at today, are a step in the right direction of seeing and understanding exactly what can happen with these NFTs. So definitely stick around for that. And again, if you guys want to get in on this stuff early, like I know a lot of people ask, how do you find these NFTs early? One of the ways to do that is to stay connected in Discord. Honestly, the best way to do it is to stay plugged into all of your communities, whether that be my Discord or other places. And you can do that on my Patreon page, as well as getting my videos 2 to 3 days early. So, what is Orcs? Orcs is an NFT. It's an NFT that you can farm with, but it's also a little bit more than that. It's actually sort of the first complete RPG game. It's still very bare bones, but a complete RPG game on the Ethereum blockchain that I know of. So this is the fan-made graphics user interface. You can see that I have my Orc right here, and you have a couple of different things that you can do with your Orc. One of them is to train your Orcs. So by doing that, you can stake your Orc in the training mode. You're not going to get any payouts from this, but your Orc will level up and evolve, and basically it will start farming faster if you level up. Now, you guys might be pretty familiar with this if you've been doing a lot of the Ethereum farming or I guess it was like miner stuff, where you buy more miners and the miners mine faster. It's similar to that. But you can have your Orc get different types of items after you train, and depending on what level you get to from the training, you can do one of these options down here called Pillage. So what Pillage is going to do is Pillage is going to allow you to get access to better items, and those items are going to help you farm faster, and farming is kind of where you can make some profits with this. So obviously, the stronger your Orc is, the better equipment your Orc has, and the better chances of pillaging at higher levels to get better equipment, the faster farming is going to work. And then finally, you have your farming option. Now, their token for the Orcs is the Zug token. And what you can do with this Zug token is you can actually get more Orcs, depending on how many Orcs already exist, is the price in Zug that's required. I think currently, as of the release of this video, it's about 5 or 4 Zug per Orc. So if you get 4 of these things, you can purchase or mint a brand new Orc. So you might say, well, what's the point of doing that? Why don't I just buy the Orcs? Well, let's just take a look at the price of Orcs right here. The price of Orcs, the floor price, the lowest price that you can get it at immediately is 4.25 Ethereum, which is about close to about $16,000 per Orc. Now, granted, keep in mind there's only about 1,500 things on the market. I think a total of 5,050 are going to be created altogether. So these things are definitely very, very rare and a hot commodity. A lot of people are looking to try to own these things and mess around with them and try to farm and try to train and get as much Orcs as possible. So again, let's review so you guys understand exactly what you're seeing here. You train your Orcs to get farm Zug tokens faster, and if you get 4 Zug tokens from farming, you're able to mint or get a free, essentially with gas, Orc. So that's a free $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 that you're farming at these floor price right here. So pretty darn lucrative opportunity. Now, the drama that comes with a lot of these NFTs that will be giving you rewards is the whole, it can't really tell you that it's going to promise you any type of money, otherwise it's going to be known as a security. But this is my whole thought process, is don't get too scared of that. I mean, a lot of people are saying the SEC is going to take down everything that even mentions farming rewards, and that's just not the case. The SEC is not that plugged into crypto at the current moment. So if you do hear that about your project, don't panic and panic sell right away. Just look into it a little bit more. But nonetheless, profits can be made with Ether Orcs from simply farming the Zug token, getting some extra orcs, selling them on the side, or compounding. Now, there is risk with this, just like with all of the other farming tokens and farming NFTs, and that is the fact that the more time that passes by, the more orcs that are going to be available on the market. Now, what that means is that the supply is going to increase infinitely, not really infinitely, but at a pretty quick rate. And essentially what that should mean is the floor price should go down at a fairly quick rate as well. So there's your risk. A lot of people were asking me, what's the risk of farming? And the risk is the more tokens or the more NFTs that are minted, the lower the price is going to be for all of them, including the ones that you initially purchased. So what can be your strategy with things like this? Obviously, you can farm and just get the Zug tokens as quickly as possible and dump your orcs to get your profits from doing that. Or you can play the longer game, and that would be to train your orcs. If you can get multiple of them, train them all, so that if you foresee the Ether Orcs having value in the future, in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, months, then you're going to be able to farm a lot more Zug tokens than the people that just jump into farming right away. Now, it's going to take time, but if at the end of that time those Zug tokens and the Ether Orcs still have a nice value or a better value, you're going to come out in a lot more profit from doing the trading first and then jumping into farming. So again, it's 100% luck. There's not really any way to tell you what is the best thing that you should be doing. So that's something that you have to decide on your own. But I do think that this is the direction that a lot of these NFTs are going in, and I did want to mention it because I think that a lot more will follow through with a similar type of mechanic as we kind of continue on here. We've seen a lot of copycats, stacked toads, and a few other things that did the same thing. We talked about Loopy Donuts and a few of these other ones, and they're still on track to launching their token and getting the farm out there, and those still have, I think, a lot of potential as is. But as the games evolve, you're going to start to see more and more things like this, and things will be a little more complex and complicated. And this is where you can start to see the value of your NFT. Instead of just holding it as a pretty profile picture, you can do stuff with it on the side. And again, I know that people are concerned about things being security once you start making money from this and money claims from this, but I would really put that on the back burner. Don't worry about that too much. Try to understand how these things work and dip your toes into them a little bit so you can understand how the whole ecosystem works all together. Stay plugged into all this stuff, guys. Hope this was just a quick update on the Ether Orcs altogether. I'm still looking at a lot of the other farming NFTs, and I've purchased a lot of them, but I'm not going to go in depth with them today. We're going to wait a couple days to see kind of how those pan out. But again, if you want direct access into my thoughts, into what I'm doing and into what other people are doing, because I found Ether Orcs from another person as well, then stay plugged into my Patreon page. That's where we're going to find a lot of this stuff early. It's where you're going to find my Discord and all that other stuff. All right, guys, that is everything for today. Catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.